Howdy, Brother John, coming from St. Louis, Missouri. Um, Friday afternoon, feeling hungry. Had breakfast at like 7 or 8. Feels like 8. It's about 3. Quite hungry. Went over to Whole Foods, which is 2 blocks away. Really neato. And never seen this. The Whole Foods. I mean, this neighborhood was built like the 30s ish, 20s, 30s, 40s, long in there. And so a lot of they went apart and then kind of got rebuilt in the 70s, 80s, 90s. But a lot of apartments, brick apartments, 6 or 8 stories tall. Yeah. Well, they like took out like a big chunk of the first floor and inserted a Whole Foods. I've never seen that before. I was kind of like, what? It's 2 blocks away. So that was very cool. Went there. And so you walk in the door. Never seen this in Whole Foods either. You walk in the door and you walk right into the eating buffet, a hot foods thingy. Never seen that before. That was cool. Walked up to it, and currently they're doing a Morocco theme. See, this previous month they said an Asian theme, all different themes every month or so. They switch out. So I ate a bunch of Moroccan food, which I was good. Just have Whole foods, but just Moroccan spices, and I had a little of each, and it was just really neato. And it had some coconut water. I hadn't had that I can remember. That was very cool. Sat out on their patio outside. Very sunny in the 60s. Marvelous, relax, chill, look across the street. I saw a logo on a building, office like a building thing, and I thought, oh, that looks sort of familiar. But my understanding is that St. Louis is very much saturated with Roman Catholics. I thought, well, probably Catholic. It was like a Florida elite. I looked in there 2, 3 more times and sit on the side. It says Boy Scouts. I went, my people, woo! So there's my lunch. Went over there, and they had a store in there to sell paraphernalia for Boy Scouts because you get merit badges, merit badge, whatever cloth things you sew on, merit badge booklets, and camping gear, and backpacks, and uniforms, and all things Boy Scout. And a whole bunch of offices. So that was like maybe, I don't know, a small part of it was a store, and a big part was their offices. And I wandered all around there, really enjoyed myself. And the clerk fellow there had been an Eagle Scout, and he and we chatted a whole lot about scouting because I really liked it. I had been a Boy Scout, and I had made a life. There's tenderfoot, second class, first class, Life Star or Star Life, whatever that is, and then there's quarterback, then there's Eagle Scout. Wherever it went before Eagle Scout, I got that part, and then I changed over to the other scouting program called Sea Scouts, and I went up through all the top of that rank, got quartermaster, which is equivalent to Eagle Scout. So I did all the ranks within the nautical side of explorers. We had a lot of chats, and I really enjoyed it. And I saw again, I'm just forever fascinated with the merit badge booklets. I've thought back on that. I told that clerk, I told the reception people that I'm forever grateful for my years in Boy Scouts. They were very formative and very helpful for me in my adult life so many times in ways. And I'm so glad they're still carrying on. They say they're decreasing in their participation in their membership, and that's sad. And they have boys and they have males and females, boys, girls, whatever you say that anymore. Dear God, that's confusing for me. I'm an old fart. But they can have. And he tried to describe how they do the Cub Scouts different than the Boy Scouts, and I kind of went, oh, that's crazy. But women, females, whatever you say that word, can participate, but they do it different, and I didn't understand it all. When I came in, when I was involved in the 60s, graduated high school in 71, so I'd be about 66 to 71-ish. Towards the end of that, the females were beginning to get involved, but they were integrated. They were experimental. They went sailing with us. Some. Not on they didn't go on the long, they were on the short trips, the day trips. They didn't go overnight trips, which is a good thing. Yeah, let's go change the subject. But the Boy Scout, they're very fascinating. I'll talk more about that later. I just really want to, I put on my list, I want to buy some, I want to explore those because of reasons I'll explain later. I want to adapt those to, I want to use those as a model and as a, so they have one on scholarship, so how to study, how to be a student in a booklet that's 30 pages long that covers all the basics, scholarship. They had one on digital literacy, just the basics. They had one on entrepreneurship. Wow, a little bitty booklet. And they're really, really practical, and they're very succinct in their pictures, and they're so well written. There's maybe two more. And they also have one, there was a thing in my day that was called God and Country, where you could go down a path where you would do service projects for a church, and you'd get a special little dealio. I wasn't involved in church those days, but you could do that. And now they've done that. They've redone that. And I saw the workbooks for that from the youngins to like the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and the Explorers. And so the basics of and then they have, interestingly for me, they have a version for Roman Catholics, they have a version for Protestants, they have a version for, I didn't know this, for Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. And he said that it used to be, until this last year, the Mormons were required, the Mormon boys were required to register with Boy Scouts. They didn't participate, they were just registered. So that was kind of like, so they changed the rules so that they could start their own Boy Scout band. No comment. My mind can't figure that one. What was good is the Explorer version. They study all the different religions in a very, very brief format. And that's really fascinating these days. So that intrigues me. Not because I'm ever going to become a Boy Scout leader, just forget that. But they have done it so well. I want to model and use that inspiration for further stuff that we can do in ways I talked about in the previous video. So I went, Boy Scouts, I came back to Whole Foods and I bought some things, got to feel hungry. So I got some kibachi. Some kibachi, I got 2 kibachis because I like those. I got me some 2 kibachis. And I got me some tuna in a jar because I could seal it back up. I got some alkaline water. Just here several days. I'm used to having water handy all the time, and it was just tap water does not float my boat. And this is great water. Also, I never tried this, been interested for a long time. It's buffalo, it's bison, so dried bison meat, and that would be an adventure. It was a lot about adventure, and so going out with my brother. Tomorrow we finally got my nephew nailed down. We're going to a Vietnamese place. Vietnamese Thai, something like that. Nephew. Let me in. So it's a gastronomic adventure. I think that's all I've got to say. Oh, I found the refrigerator. I mean, it's in a cabinet, and it's just, okay, I was not expecting. And I was looking for a place to put something, and what is in that great big cabinet? Well, it's a tiny refrigerator. So my leftover foods from the Lebanese is in there from last night. It was just sitting out. Oh well. So now it's in the fridge. And something else I put in there. I forgot. Oh, I also got some lobster bisque. I really like lobster bisque. So that's cool. So I just snacked my way through life. I don't have full meals. This is really, really weird for me, but my brother and nephew have real full sit down meals. But just kind of nibble along and sip, drink. So I think I have stuff to say. So my brother's gonna come pick me up. We're gonna go somewhere and do something, and I'll tell you more about that later. Ha ha! Done. Yippee dippy dippy. Shalom.